Hmm? Tea. Yeah, she's been drinking it.
Well, my name is Christian Johnson, and yeah, I'm planning to enjoy this Pokemon campaign, and yeah, don't really, yeah, that is me. Next one.
I'm Shogun. That's
Hi,
Toby.
Yep. You beat me to it.
Our lovely GM is muted right now, but his name is RP. Because RP Gamer and the RPG we're running will never get confused at all.
Well, it's not like we named the
And
campaign.
that's the intro.
I'm just pulling them up.
Well, I can introduce mine. Mine is new. My Pokemon's name is Loki, and he is yeah. What was he, Brian? I can't remember the name of the Pokemon.
Treacle.
What?
He was a Treacle.
Trico. Yeah, Trico. And yeah, he was abandoned at birth, but he doesn't know why. So yeah.
My Pokemon is named Aradacea, although his friends just call him R. He is... Well, his full title is Aradacea, the Lonely Traveler. And as the name implies, he is a Cubone, the Lonely Pokemon. And right now, he is a Lonely Traveler.
It's just called great timing, that's all.
Is she biotic?
Unless I recall, she was a chef.
Yeah.
Favorite Pokemon. Alright, mine hasn't changed at all. It is the wonderful, the brilliant, the awe-inspiring Kit. The, oh my goodness, how could I forget? The Finnick, am I right? Finnegan Magician.
Well, here's Toby. Here's a fun fact. When we couldn't find Brian, I was going to try to be the GM, and I was going to be a good GM. Because another thing, it's also this. I had everything planned. Every contingency. I was going to mess it up somehow. Though we didn't know. So instead of taking the inevitable catastrophe that was mine, we found RP under some rock. I imagine we had to pull him out of the stone of which Excalibur came from. After trudging through the Lord of the Rings, flying across Star Wars, and other such... my joke's run out long enough.
In a galaxy far, far away, across the lands of Mordor, lies within the rock, within the lake Excalibur was founded in, was a GM.
Oh,
Follow the yellow
I
brick
really
road.
wondered where that was going then. I thought that was a dig at me being British at first.
It could be. It could.
Considering Excalibur and Lord of the Rings is British.
Everyone from Star Wars also has a British accent.
Yep, it was
That
still
was
mostly over here.
Super
as well.
That was a super meta discrimination joke. I didn't even connect it.
Neither have I.
Well-
Maybe because all the actors are British.
Yep, at least the two main characters of Force Awakens are British.
The Brits rule Hollywood. Illuminati confirmed.
All they do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or sorry to say this, but your ancestors are from England.
No, they're not. Mine are from Germany and the south of Patchage.
Well,
The more you learn about me, the more of the conundrum I become. Because, whatever. Let's move on.
we can,
Yes, quickly before I bring up the Germans. Right. So basically what this session's about is basically just discussing what we want from this campaign and me giving and me giving some kind of overview of the story. If there is one.
how will you bring us together? Do you have a rough plan?
I have much more... I've already got how you come together. It's the getting you there that's the problem.
Okay.
Just a minute.
How can you? Oh, you mean the story?
Yeah.
Before. Okay.
If I know how to... what's yours called again, Toby?
Kit?
Kit,
She's
I
a
know-
traveling magician.
Yeah, I'm a traveling magician. Like, I don't know if you saw the character sheet, but everything I have is about showmanship.
Yeah. Yeah, and you also partake in contests, so...
Yeah, I have, because of how the system works, where you're encouraged to mix and match classes, I have, two competition classes, the coordinator and style expert. I have three, but those are the two that are relevant to the situation. The other one helps me with magic tricks, which is telekinetic. Yep.
Actually, now that I think about it, I can bring you all together. I know exactly how. So just edit out everything I've said before.
If
We'll
only
just
real
say
life
that.
worked like that.
Welcome,
I ha-
everybody.
I have
This
an
is the,
entire plan.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
So my character is Aradacy, the Lonely Traveler. Toby's Pokemon is... Okay. So,
Yeah.
what now that we have the brilliant plan that of how we're going to get together, what's the next step of this conversation?
Would you like me to? Have you seen my list of questions? No, that is what I'd like to know. What kind of things would you like in the campaign?
Game
Get out
of
a bit on
Thrones.
that.
This campaign can be like Game of Thrones. Sometimes people die randomly in the Game of Thrones. All the favorite characters.
The only thing I know Thrones.
And it looks like Christian has fallen out of the game. Unfortunate, his death was the first. There. Okay. One request down. Anyone else? Yay, Chihuahua!
My dog's asleep at the moment. Alright.
I had two smaller, like little brother and little sister, but I can't remember them being so energetic like your nephew.
I hate to interrupt, but to get this conversation back on point, mainly what I'm looking for out of the campaign is a story. As I said before, I would like story, character development. I'm not really looking for much other than just enjoying myself. Anyone else?
I could add on to that because I have the same exact goal. I would like to see character development of the players unravel. I like storytelling. Like when I GM, I focus more on the story than combat and stuff. So I would like to see all of our characters actually develop, kind of like the stereotypical, not stereotypical, but a band of strangers come together and through their experiences they deal with their own personal problems, they help each other with their own problems, and they just become close friends. I can fix that. Give me a moment.
That was the heavens above. That was the holy light that shined upon him during his epic speech.
I know where that's coming from.
This light is from a desk lamp, and I'm sitting in my sofa right now. I wanted to sit somewhere comfortable.
Maybe you want combat.
I don't want not necessarily a a quota or anything, but fighting when we have to. Player control.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
good to have a mix, but personally, I would like. Well, I don't know. I would like to see how I would fare in combat, seeing as I do not take anything that would help me in combat. I'm completely showmanship.
As long as the battles make sense, like not shoving in combat just to meet the 75-25 quota.
Yeah, combat for the sake of quota is not good. Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Well, yeah, it's a campaign, a story
Yeah.
campaign.
but
Battle
wandering through
conflict
the
is
forest,
inevitable.
yeah, but sometimes when you're on the path, especially in the time period that this is going to be set in, you're going to encounter bandits or some kind of attack. Eventually, there's going to be someone who thinks they're stronger than the world that tries to destroy X city. But the fact that but shooing in random encounters has to make sense. Like, if we just enter, we can't just enter a town, then all of a sudden these 20 bandits leap out, and it's just like, but this city has 40 guards. Yeah, if it. Oh yeah, yeah. Combat when it makes sense is something I like. Even combat can tell a good story if used properly. That's how I see using combat, as a way to tell a story, a way to push us towards points to help us develop.
Yeah, I do like. I run my combat. I always have a way to get out of it, either role playing wise or otherwise. There's always an option. I don't send you straight in there. You have to fight this guy at the end. But I suppose sometimes that is the inevitable outcome. You have to fight. I'm not doing I'm not doing an end of Mass Effect where you can basically convince the big bad guy to kill himself. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's a similar to that I have, is that if you want to try it, everything is possible. Yes, this encounter, you can tuck your way out of it. But if it's successful or not depends on what you say, as well as how well you roll. Because just saying surrender and rolling a high persuasion, it's not going to do anything. You need to give them a reason.
Well,
speaking of diplomacy rolls and that, how do you like to handle them? Do you to buy rolls or actually role play? So persuading
role
them.
play.
Yeah, same with me. Role playing. But if it gets to a point where it's actually on the line, even after the reasoning, is when I actually kick in a roll. Sometimes if I kind of because I like to ad-lib my stories. If for some odd reason them being swooned by the good guys would actually mess up with a little bit of things, I would also call in a roll. Every time they talk to someone, I don't think they need to roll, but when it's an important role, that's when it's an important moment, I would say roll, but give them give a bonus depending on what they say.
Because what I've come across quite a lot is people have created charismatic characters or very intelligent characters, and they don't feel they are themselves. So kind of player character difference. I like to allow the players to roleplay persuading or something, and then then you could just kind of use your imagination to say how it would have came out of the character's mouth, kind of thing. It would have came out the character's mouth more charismatic or something.
Yeah, because that is another thing. Is some people aren't really good at that situation. Like, like that's like a very frustrating thing. It's like, I know my character's charismatic. I know like I have all these skills. Like my character is really good at talking to people, but real me is like, what do I say? How do I even start this conversation? And I think that's when a role actually comes in, is when you yourself can't think of something, and you kind of just roll to see what your character does, because you probably trust your character in this situation more than yourself. That's another way of rolling. Yeah.
I'm pretty good at playing to. I know how to act out that, I think, and I put so I think we could play.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. If the bad guy wants an omelette whipping up, we knew it would come to.
Essentially, combat's going to be like, okay, which one of you is actually the fighter? The Cubo? Okay. The Ralts buffs you. The Fennekin buffs you. Go.
I'm just setting something up.
Speaking of combat, I like to. I'm not saying I'm great at it, but I like to try to be descriptive with the combat. Like, I don't really like it when you just say, "Oh, I slash." When people say, "Oh, I slash at him," or "I punch him."
Yeah.
I like to be a bit more descriptive with it.
Yeah.
I also like to include the previous player's turn in my move, because realistically, it's all happening in the same time frame.
Yeah, like in
To
D&D.
me, in my head.
Yeah, same thing in mine. Like in D&D, because this actually is a thing that I've actually gotten some players a little bit of argument with, and they sometimes forget GM's word is law. Rounds happen all at the same time. Everyone takes their turn simultaneously, but what action goes off first, it is what determines the score. Like, everything's happening in the span of 6 seconds, because each round is 6 seconds, and everything happens at the same time. The problem is, like, sometimes you start running low on adjectives and description of actions that it's just like, I just slapped at it. Because it happens. Sometimes you're just like, I gallantly slew the creature with my blade, and then you can't really use that description again, because then it's... Yes.
I find that as a player, it helps when I include what the player before me's done in their turn, in my turn. Like I say, as I see him slash or I stab the goblin through the chest and that. I just like to, and sometimes I've started doing it recently as a GM, like, because it is such a short time frame each turn's happening in, like reminding them of what they did last turn in that turn, like going, right, you slashed the orc, what do you do now? You've just slashed the orc's neck, what do you do now? And then they can follow on the descriptions from that. Like then, as the orc's head rolls away, I turn and slash the other enemy.
Incorporating other people's actions into your description is a nice way of doing it. But like also another thing going on the lines of that is this is something that a lot of people actually forget, and even I forget, even though I try to keep myself reminding, is that hit points are subjective. As in, you have 50 hit points, and if you take 25 points of damage, usually, that sounds like you should have died, especially when like someone rams a sword through your heart and does like crits and 25 damage, but you're still alive when in reality you should be dead.
Hmm.
Hit points is a representation of not only how hardy you are, but your fighting spirit. Like, your will to continue fighting, your luck, you pressing your luck to, like, narrowly avoid attacks, or attack actually glancing off of you. It's only when you actually get down to low hit points, like when you would drop down to 0, is when you would actually get hit.
I always assumed it was like something about the attack, the damage roll or hit points thing.
Yeah.
The damage roll was like 5. 1 point is he nicked your, he just nicked you.
Yeah, but then you get into like
5
the high.
is he got a stab through your hand or something.
Yeah, but then it gets
25
into those. Yeah, it gets into those high.
25 he crippled your limb.
Yeah,
if
then-
he gets all of it, then he decapitated you. If he gets a roll high enough, he decapitated you. He incinerated you. He stabbed you through the heart. He crushed your head with his bare hands.
Yeah.
He disintegrated you, poisoned you, atom smashed you, burnt you alive. I'm just going off of something because I remember this one story. I'll tell you later, but
Yeah. But yeah, it gets
basically I
really
just
good.
assume that hit points are like what sort of attack happened. The accuracy roll is if you connected. The hit points is how good did you connect.
Yeah,
That's
like,
what I thought it was.
yeah. I kind of use the same rules when I describe how damage is. Like, if it's a low number, it was them pretty much pressing the luck and barely getting all the way, or if it's somewhere around it, you nick them. But then it gets into like ridiculous scenarios. Like, the most ridiculous scenario I have gotten into was someone pressed a gun against someone's head, pulled the trigger, and did like a lot of damage, but wasn't enough to kill them. And it was just like this awkward moment where this thing was still alive after being shot point blank in the head. And I'm just like, it's really hard to explain this in a way that makes sense.
There was a draw.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
There was a South American drug enforcer. His boss was gonna cross him out of the equation. You know what I mean? What I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, crush the roach. But so he came. He was talking to him. One of his goons was smuggled in a pistol. He took it, pointed at the back of his head, pulled the trigger. The guy stood up and said, What do you think you're doing?" The guy was a beast, is what I'm saying. But people have survived shots to the head, point blank, before.
Yeah.
It's just like you shot him in the back of the head, and he just looks at you. Did you just shoot at me? Did you just shoot at me?
But some part of the brain must have been blown out with the bullet.
The bullet wasn't strong enough to pierce the skull. It curved around to his slid. It it didn't pierce the skull. It was too. It ended up in like the skin outside the temple or something. But it didn't pierce the skull or anything. It's just a story I heard. Well, saw on TV. But anyway, okay, so is that all of the points we wanted to raise?
Maybe some mysteries. Yeah. Not like Scooby-Doo mysteries, but where some Pokemons are dressed as some weird pink skinned two-legged monsters.
Looks like we're getting some lag. RP, he fell out. He'll probably be back in a second.
Where does he live again? I hope not a tornado or a big...
The worst they have there is rain. Well, that's actually just normal weather. I don't know. I live in Florida, so, you know, rain in and then not rain in is normal. No, not really. We don't care. I literally lived in a house where a hurricane was coming right by it. Didn't care. Didn't even leave. Like Florida is just like the more tamed version of Australia. The worst thing we have to worry about is alligators, and the story goes that we learned to outrun alligators at the age of 3.
How can you not be scared of the hurricane?
I don't know why we're not scared. It's just like, oh, it's just a bunch of wind and stuff like, oh yeah, things going through palm trees that are thick. We'll board up the windows. That should keep us safe.
Are you not at least in the basement or...
We don't have basements or attics. And the thing is,
So RP's back. So,
yeah.
Uh,
Sorry about that. I was just about to say my time when hit points have been stupid and my computer decided to kick in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just about to say quickly that my time when the hit points was really ridiculous was when I was basically eaten by a dragon.
Yeah.
I wasn't just bit by the dragon. It actually picked me up in its mouth and chomped down on me, and I took 10 damage. So we have to go into this big long description of how it swallowed me and how I was being digested and dying that way. And it was just, yeah, I'd be dead on the first bite in reality.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, because like another thing, like a creature in D&D is the purple worm, and its normal mode of attack is it just eats you, and you have to cut your way out. And it's just like, you're just like, okay, I know hit points are abstract. The people that make these books say they're abstract, but the attacks the monsters do don't help support that.
No.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, is that like as long as you're in the stomach, you're taking like constriction damage as well as acid damage.
What about not breathing?
Yeah, that's something they don't really bring up.
Yeah, because you're not in the lungs, so you would soon also not be able to breathe.
If you're that sadistic of a GM, there are suffocation rules that you could also apply in that situation.
Yeah.
Again, it's like I think it's like the rules for suffocation and drowning is like you take like a d6 points of damage per turn that you don't breathe. But when you're like level 20, you have like 500 hit points. A d6 of damage is just like, when could you breathe underwater? I can't. I've just been drowning this entire time.
But can you? Isn't there like a self-healing skill you can have?
Yeah, there's magical healing, then there's like skills you can use to do some minor healing to yourself, which then becomes ridiculous when you're underwater because you take a d6 damage and then you just heal it. And it's just... Yeah, like, see, like, once you get, the higher your hit points is, the more improbable attacks become against you.
I find it a bit hard. I was just gonna say I find it a bit hard to like tell people who've come from video games about like how hit points are abstract in tabletop role playing because they're used to like the HP bar, and once you get to 0, that's it, you're gone. There's no
Yeah.
minus. There's no time to heal after that. That's game over once you hit 0. That's what they used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, it's still ridiculous. Like, I don't remember Mass Effect that much, but, like, games like that, if you could get, like, a rocket or grenade at your feet and you could somehow survive that.
But didn't they have shields?
Yeah, but in other
My
games,
head
like-
hurts. Can we talk? My head hurts. Can we
let's
talk
get
about
back
something
on topic.
else?
Yeah, let's get back on topic.
Yeah, back on topic.
Will we have a big bad, or just like regional baddies?
Well, I was imagining a big bad who's behind it all, but do you? Yeah. Not a spoiler. Don't worry, Mike. I was just asking the question about what kind of bad guy do you want?
It depends.
Do you want it all to be linked from one big bad, or do you like there to be regional? Just
maybe
like them.
maybe like the first one we think is the big bad. Maybe not. It's not the big bad. That it could be like somebody's
puppet.
Yeah, and there's that.
Okay, I'm back.
And
Okay.
it could, and that the big bad could be someone we already knew, like we thought was a good person, but was the big bad in the first place, but we didn't know it.
Totally a paladin, not some evil necromancer wearing full plate. But
Hmm.
but the question that I think like RP asked was like this picture, but is I think
Thank you.
regional like big baddies make sense, especially in the setting that we're kind of using, which is kind of based on, I think you said kind of based on Game of Thrones-ish. Oh, I know it's a medieval setting. That it makes sense that each region would probably have it.
Medieval setting, yeah.
Yeah, it would make sense that there are these like in areas that there's these big baddies. Like, not all the big baddies are related to this one massive big baddie, but you know, I mean, the whole thing about a villain is they think they can control the world in their own rights, and they don't really work together. So I can see there like being big baddies or like this conglomerate of like chain of evilness that, you know, like, we have stopped you, and then it's like, because like, my boss will hear about this when they go, and we're like, he has a boss? Crap. This goes deeper than we thought.
Maybe
The only thing I have is Arceus is an optional boss. He is not. We don't have to deal with this monstrosity. of godly proportions. Sorry, my mistake. That's
Okay.
sort of. I just don't want the strongest thing is the inevitable boss fight. I think Big Bad because
It doesn't even have to be a fight. It can literally
exactly.
just...
It's just Arce. That's sort of all I have. It's that Arceus. Well, Arceus could be the big bad, but I guess what I'm saying is Arceus isn't outright looking to kill everything or something like that. No, I'm trying to figure out what I mean. Optional boss fights. I get it.
I think I understand what you mean.
Is that the big baddies
Yeah.
are not mandatory to deal with.
Yeah.
Alright, but I can see, like, it not having to be, like, an actual fight to the death. I mean, I always had, like, the idea of, like, having big baddies that are redeemable. Like, they're doing something due to their belief, and sometimes it takes, you know, a group of good guys to kind of just, like, break into their house and say, like, what you're doing is wrong, you can do it this way, and then them realizing, like, oh, what have I done? And, you know, be redeemed. Yeah, MLP style. Example, MLP. They've only killed one.
Some.
Okay, they imprisoned one. Like, out of all the main villains they have fought, they have imprisoned one, banished another, and killed a third. So they have not redeemed 3 of their big baddies. One of them they actually killed.
The kind of baddies I love to play and love to see are to use the alignments, lawful evil bad guys
Yeah.
who like follow the law but don't care about the means, like the means justify the ends too. Because that's basically the difference between a bad guy and a good guy in my head. To a bad guy, the means justify the ends, but to a good guy, it's kind of like, no, it doesn't, killing these people doesn't justify that. That's how I see a bad guy. They're willing to do anything to get
Yeah.
the end they want.
A famous quote, I don't know who
So-
said it was, that everyone's a hero in their own story.
Yeah, that's how the best bad guys see themselves, as the heroes. And they see the heroes as the bad guys trying to stop them doing good. But
I'll send you some emails, RB,
yeah,
or a email. It was
Yeah.
sort of about what I was going to do. You don't have to do them. They're just sort of ideas that might
oh, that
spark
would be helpful.
imagination.
About the
And now
about the bad.
I
bad
am.
yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just doing this to help clarify your point. The alignment meme he was talking about. It's in comic book flavor because of reasons that it was the first one I found. It's in the group chat. It's the alignment meme he was talking about. Lawful good. It's in the group chat. Either one. Cool. So, a brief idea, I'll just send it through email. It'll be fine. So, is that everything on our thoughts and ideas?
Well, I was just going to ask about what sort of campaign, because some people like to do it where the world's persistent, and some like to do it where, like, how video games work, where it's all reactive to what the players do. Like, a quest won't continue until you continue it, kind of thing.
Time limit things could be fun from time to time, but most of the time quests should wait till we do it. Again, I'm not saying this is how it has to be. This is just suggestions.
Yeah. To me, it's up to how you want the
time. Go ahead, Toby.
Yeah, it depends on how you want the world to run, because there are pros and cons and like usefulness for having a world literally revolve around the PCs. Dynamic worlds are fun. I mean, it all depends on like what kind of story are you trying to tell. If you're trying to tell the story of the world and us living through it, having like a quest pop up and us not doing it actually affect the world is a good way to tell the story of the world. Like, yeah, things are going on in this world. Just because we don't acknowledge it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But if you're telling more of a story around the player characters, it's good to like have things only function when the player characters acknowledge it. But in my preference, because I really love like the players having to deal with things and stuff, is I like a dynamic world because not only does it help develop the characters a bit because they're doing their own thing or the camera is following them more or less. When we don't choose to do a quest, even if it sounds important, and it starts affecting the world, it kind of gives us this sense of how meaningful like our choices actually mean. Like, there's bandits attacking this road, or we can help this old lady deal with the rat problem. And we're like, with our PC mindset, we're like, oh, we could probably do both. We deal with the rat problem. Takes us a while because they're dire rats or something. And by the time we finish with that quest, we realize that we want to buy some equipment, but there's nothing to buy because the traders keep being attacked on the roads. And so when we finally go deal with the bandits are more well-equipped because they just raided a weapon cache because we didn't deal with them sooner.
What about bad consequences for the good things we do?
That is also another thing I really like, is that our choices matter. Like, we helped this old lady. Sure, the bands have gotten stronger, but we kind of have a town rep here. You know, this old lady is like an elder here. She's put in a good word with us. We're very helpful. That's like a risk reward there, is that the bands are stronger and are more of a problem to deal with. That's a consequence, but another positive consequence is that because we helped her, not only did we get a quest reward from her, but we're seen in a brighter light in this town. Same thing could be said that if we actually start murder hoboing people, we would be seen as monsters.
The one example I keep using, and it's the only example I can find from Dragon Age, is the Red Cliff quest, the Red Cliff Village quest. Do you know when the zombies are attacking? But if you leave before you complete the quest, then you come back, they're all dead, and they hate you because you didn't help. I always.
Okay. How can you know that they hate you if all of them are dead?
Well, there was
the lords and stuff like that were in the castle.
Yeah, the main quest givers were still alive, so
Okay.
and they were the ones that hated you. The rest of the village was dead. So.
I would never know. I was too good of a Grey Warden.
That's how it happened to me.
I was just too good, and I might have not known I couldn't leave, but I was too good.
They actually do warn you if you try and leave. They say, "Are you sure you want to leave?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just going to the camp. I'm just going to go to the camp to change my party, to come back." And then I came back, and it was just like everyone was dead, and I was like, "What? What?" I was like, "What?"
When they said that the undead were surrounding the village, I thought that meant that the way to leave was also blocked off, so therefore I was trapped in the village. So I didn't know any of this. I was just trapped in the village of the undead. I know I suck. Don't judge me.
Also, one of my run-throughs, I didn't do any of the beginning quests for ages because I didn't want Lovering to go. So I went round just randomly travelling around the different towns and that, not really doing the main quests. See how long I keep Lovering going for.
Hmm.
But anyway, back on
Okay,
topic.
so quest choices. Yeah, that sounds good. Anything else? Well, deadlines, I think, would be, while choices affecting the world, I do completely agree with everything Toby said. Throwing them out, like, every time would seem... They sort of lose their flavor. Like, the same quest, like, you can do this or this, but you can't do both without affecting the other. I'm not saying anything against it or how it is.
No, I mean, like, in that situation, if we went to deal with Bandit, she'll still have the rat problem. It's not like the rats are going to eat her in her sleep.
Maybe we can also do like the party split up. One half go to the bandits and one half help with the rats.
No, you never split the party.
I think the main reason for
You
that
should-
Okay.
you
massive
should,
headache
Oh
is
dear
the-
Lord. Okay. Okay. Here's how we're gonna do this. RPU.
What happened? I didn't hear anything.
I think he crashed. I said crashed, you said froze.
Okay. But I think we should at least have this choice to do it, to split up. You shouldn't be forced to stay with the party. Yeah, but it can also be character building. What if the character... maybe the character... if the player feels that the character would do a certain thing, but the other three were... yeah.
Yeah, that can sometimes cause problems. Like, this is a thing that drives me nuts sometimes, and I've only encountered this once, thankfully, but making a choice you know your character will make, but you out of character know will end its life. I like sticking to my character thing, and I've actually encountered that situation once, and because I like telling the story of a character, I did the choice and they died. It's kind of like, yeah, your character is this proud person that would go take on the bandits by themselves, and then out of character you're like, but they're going to die. And then it becomes like, but I have to do it because that's what my character would do. It's such a crisis when it comes to me, because I like my character, I don't want them to die, but I don't want them to act out of character. Like, I like this character, I don't want them to die, but they're stupid, they would do this.
I know that feel, bro. I know that feel.
I try
It's
so
funny,
hard not to kill characters.
But sometimes the characters are too dang stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid
Yep.
to live.
My rule on
It-
killing
it-
player characters is if
Quinn
it's
died a
feasible-
hero.
If it's feasible for them to not die, they don't die. But sometimes it's unavoidable. You shouldn't spare someone's life just because they're a player character. You shouldn't go out of your way to kill them. But if they're in a situation where death is the only option, death is the only option. Like, if you're being attacked by bandits and you've been killing bandits, you can argue they take them alive, but if they kill, like, the bandit leader and a couple of bandits, death is probably on its way quickly. Like, I can see, like, situations where, like, okay, they're going to tie you up and try to burn you, and there's, like, these situations where if it goes right, you can get out of it, but, you know, you can see death on the other end if you don't find a way out. Yeah, that's the whole point, is that was the point of, like, they're not going to outright just murder face you. They want you to pay because you killed their leader. So they tie you up to like, a pole, they set a little, like, fire ready under you, and then they're, like, harassing them, you know, doing what bandits will do to someone they don't like before setting the fire and then letting it slowly burn. Giving the GM enough time, the player enough time, and the other players enough time to figure out what to do to get out of this situation. But if they can't think of anything, or they can't think of a reason to go do this, then, well, it's kind of letting you know that, you know, here's your chances if you want to save them. Here's chances for, you know, everyone to jump in. They can see death on the other side of this, and it's pretty much final call.
Yeah, if that happened to my character, he would die because he is the grass, and fire is very deadly.
Yeah, pretty much my rule, I think, for player death is if the player knows and expects their player to die, death is an option. If they don't think death is an option, then try not to make it an option.
I've also had players who pushed me to the point of killing them because I've warned them that many times that doing something will probably result in them dying, and they still go and do it. So I have no option but to say, "Well, your character dies."
Yeah, I mean, those situations I can see where, like I said, if they know death is going to be a possibility or a high possibility, or, you know, they go like, my character's probably going to die if they do this, but then if death is an option in that situation, then death is an option. The players have acknowledged that it can happen. You've warned them that it can happen, and they still made the decision to do it. Those are the 3 strikes. I know this will kill me. You told me it will kill me, but I'm going to do it. But I'm doing it. A 3-strike system for death, I think, is a good system. Like, if they're warned of death 3 times, the 3rd time being the choice to still do it, then, yeah, death will happen. May happen. Who knows? They might get lucky and just, like, yeah. Risk reward. I mean, if there's a risk of death and you somehow get out of there relatively scot-free, that's going to be a an amazing, like, epic situation. It's like, it's a pit of acid. I'm going to try to swim it. You know that's going to kill you. Yeah, I know it's going to kill me, but I do it anyway. And then they somehow succeed to swim across by, I don't know how you would describe that, but they get to the other side, and it's just like, how did you survive this? They're like, I don't know, but this hurts so much. Yeah.
Literally, if a fly lands on them, they're going to die of infection because all their skin is gone.
Or they can fly away. Yeah, but fly.
Choices. Yeah, you make them. You live or die with them. Probably die with them. So, what were we talking about? What were we talking about?
Life and death.
Because I don't.
We were talking about choices and then handle player death. I think player death is a mix of is kind of a because we know that we're probably to die. The GMs told us that we'll probably die, and we made the choice to do this anyway. That's how player death happens.
Can it sometimes happen that a NPC saves us unexpectedly?
Yeah. I mean, it would be kind of weird for like out in the middle of the forest, miles away from civilization. We get attacked by like feral hound dudes. It wouldn't make sense that a random NPC saves us.
It could be an NPC that the character had helped
Christian,
before.
just don't do dumb choices. And do your best to keep your character in line, and we'll all make it through happy dandy.
My character's name was Loki.
Do your best to keep him in line. He won't keep in line, but we'll do your best to keep him in line. Okay, so...
Yeah, but
okay.
he will say that he will do good, but you know, I'm playing I will kind of play my character with the name. So it will not be completely, but I will still follow mostly in line.
It'll be fun to see.
I won't destroy the story. But I will play my character.
Okay, so what's next on the agenda? We talked about player choice, we talked about bosses, we talked about story, what we want. What's next? Character sheets?
Not completely, but it will before the first session.
Oh, RP dropped. Didn't see that. That's cool. I'm just getting tired. No, nothing much.
What time is it for you?
Early.
Late.
Well, it's 7 minutes to a new day for me. Yeah. Oh, now it's 12:08.
6:13 in the afternoon for here. But I think we have. I mean, what else is there to talk about with RP about how the world could run? I mean, I think we covered all the important parts.
My
Apparently, it's over.
Okay.
His bandwidth is spiking, and I keep losing the audio. I'm gonna reset.
Well,
I thought it said
reset. Well,
I thought it said rest.
I think we've covered like all the important things. The only thing I can think of is actually things that starting the campaign would be used for.
My character is male.
Yeah. No.
Toby is female.
Kit is female. No.
I don't get it. He explained it to me. He told me why he does it. I just don't get it. It's something a lot of RP or you told me about it. Women earn their place more than men.
Yeah, that was right. I believe females are...
Toby always plays a woman. Well, except when he doesn't want to, but most of the time he plays a
I
woman.
don't always play females. I prefer playing female characters because...
You're not the female.
Part of it, but but the thing I explained was that due to society standards and stuff, that a female in the same position as other people have to work harder towards it. So in my opinion, females are actually stronger workers and generalize, like pretty much they're better because they have to work harder just to be on par with like males. Yeah, and I actually respect that a lot. Like females have power, are like really strong in that sense because they have so much to fight against. Mm-hmm.
Who is the fire type?
The Fennekin.
Okay. So it could be a fiery romance between my character and yours.
No.
Good luck.
Maybe,
I know what Jessica was trying to say, but really what she meant was no. Okay, sorry, that was a bad joke.
Well, yeah, but maybe Toby, maybe your character could... Is there any ice Pokemon?
There are a couple of ice Pokemon.
Yeah, maybe your character could fall for a cold one.
Nah, knowing my character is too enwrapped in their showmanship to actually acknowledge other people fully. It's like people flirt with her and it's just like, I know, I'm just that amazing.
But maybe you don't know really your character. Maybe your character will do something you don't
Like
really.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know how our characters are going to mesh. I mean, even though our personalities, we think that us being player characters that they're going to match, but a single incident can quickly change that. Like the fire, like if one of our characters is opposed to fight and we literally just outright see another player character murder someone, it's kind of going to affect our opinion. Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't trust you. You literally just fought someone out of nowhere. That's how come I like seeing these campaigns where we see like characters develop with each other and seeing how they interact with each other, because I always like the paladin and rogue kind of like archetype where they hate each other, they despise each other because their morals and the way they do things are completely different and clashing, but they work together for some reason, and that's usually because they have a similar goal they're working towards. It's like, the reason why I don't throw you in prison or cut off your hands right now is because I need your skills. And it's kind of like this like love-hate relationship of like, I keep you around because you're useful and I kind of relate to you, but I'd rather just throw you in jail because it's so much easier.
That's what I was just about to say. I love like character conflict, not player conflict. Player conflict I don't like, and just no.
Oh yeah, I was part of a game where that was a big problem.
But character conflict I love, as long as A, it stays in character, and B, you are still a party at the end of it.
Yeah. Like, I've been watching like another channel, and it's funny because these two-player characters, their characters are fighting for who's the true leader of the party. Like, one of them's like, no, I'm the true leader, and the other one goes like, yeah, sure, and then they start giving off orders, and he goes like, you don't know what you're doing. And it's just this hilarious, like, bickering fighting.
Maybe it's you know how.
No, it's not.
Romance.
No, it's not. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe it's like
That never happened.
maybe it's like they are the saying about how do you say like
If I could. 1 second.
that they fight and but in the end they fall in love.
There's many ways to go. It's dependent on how things go and how things went. Yeah. Because who knows, you might find an NPC that your character actually relates to more. Like, who knows, like, someone else who shares your chaotic view on life. A Harley Quinn to your Joker. Yeah. Yeah. And it all depends. Yeah. Yeah. And I can... Oh, I lost my train of thought. Where'd it go?
Do you want
over there.
do you want help to find it?
Oh! Found it.
Okay.
It also depends on how we all meet, because I think at the moment none of us know each other, and it's up to like RP when he like introduces us all how we come together and know each other, because we each come from a different background. Travel and showmanship. Chef, I believe you were. The Cubone was a soldier, and I don't know about what Loki's character. Yeah, Wanderer, and then...
Mystery.
He's a lonely traveler. The Cubone is a lonely traveler.
Yeah.
Though he is a bit tanky. He can't really dish out the deck. I'm just talking about stats here. It's not really anything spoiler related. He can take the damage. He sort of has troubles in the area of dishing it out. My combat is it's a bit high. It has one extra point that it would normally have, but where Ardacy truly excels at it is taking the damage, soaking it up. He's the guy that sort of
You're
intercepts the damage.
You're
Yes.
the tank. I'm the face. And it all depends on like your mystery character. But from the sound of it, there's no way none of us would know each other right off from the get go. Like he travels alone. Kit travels alone-ish. I mean, you have people to help. I don't know. I think travel alone, yeah. So I travel alone. Cubone travel alone. You're a chef. I don't even think you travel. And then a conflict would have to come up, which kind of has to pull us all together to work together. Literally, something
I'll
would
say
happen.
RP.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
I'll send you an email of what was my original idea of the group getting together.
Yeah, because
Okay.
like I said, it would have to be a conflict strong enough to pull someone who has a stable job away from their stable job. The chef.
I'm also glad to say I know nothing about Christian's character, because while I know a lot of Toby and Karamas Girl told me everything, and Toby I could pretty much guess because we share a freaking brain, but
I think it's a one-way thing.
I hope so, because I like surprises. I hate it when I figure it out before it happens. It's a common occurrence.
Yeah. I would say something, but I think that would also ruin some stuff. It's not about my character, it's about me.
It's okay. I get that. I like surprises. So thank you, Toby. Yeah, I'll send you all the ideas I had, not as a way of what you should do, but just as suggestions. Well, there is one thing. I will send you one thing you can do with me and my character, but again, that is just something which will be in the email. Speaking of which, I'll just send it through a PM link through Skype.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll give me some great ideas of like what to do and that, future things and all that stuff. But what?
I don't
Yeah,
I had
got
to
that.
clean out. I had to clean out my drive, Jessica. I mean, Karamas Girl. I had to clean it out. It might have gotten written over. I didn't choose what got deleted and what didn't get deleted. I had to clean it out. It was a notice from Google. Apparently, I like to write a lot. My drive was yeah.
I don't know if I made
got a.
I don't know if I officially wrote down my backgrounds.
I've got them all. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah.
They're on there.
Okay. Yeah, because I know my character's background, I just don't know if I have a physical thing of it. But I do remember I talked to RP about it, and I don't know if I sent him something, but apparently I did. Way to go, past me!
Unless
I
I
specifically-
just wrote it down as you've told me.
Good.
I can't remember.
I remember it.
Just so you know, a call comes.
What?
Okay. You should.
Fine, it wasn't
Green-
anyone human.
If you have a family member that has dementia, give the phone to them.
A little bleak there.
I need to find that thing back there.
Yeah, because telemarketers love to talk with people with dementia.
I feel like that's
Hey.
sarcasm.
No, I won't lie. I don't lie. Said Loki.
So, what? Characters. I can't really think of anything else to talk about.
I've got a
Or be considered
So-
spoilers.
So, just wondering, how many years would this campaign be?
I
how
think
long
this
we'll run
what
for.
I think this.
I asked how many years.
No.
It will all depend
I-
because
I got. Go ahead.
downtime can range for anything. Like if we have nothing to do and we actually sit around in town, sitting around in town can actually be years or months. So time is very fluctuate bit depending on what we actually do. Yeah. Like it could be like 3 real life days to just go through an hour of the world time. Or like in a matter of like 2 minutes, a month will have gone by because we're waiting.
But
It
how
fluctuates.
many? How many years will this campaign be?
You mean in real time, Christian?
Yes.
You really want to play tabletop, don't you?
This
Yes,
game
I
will
wasn't
last.
really thinking. I wasn't really considering years for this campaign. More like months. I was
Maybe
thinking
like
more in months.
maybe.
I mean, I've seen
I don't
like,
want to stretch it out, if you know what I mean. I don't want to.
But we can do
Yeah.
like. But we can do like a world record for the longest.
good luck. Good luck. I've known some campaigns that have been going on since the creation of D&D.
When? How long ago was that?
70s, wasn't it?
Guys,
D&D?
if I can interrupt,
Yep.
since this is pretty much done,
Yeah.
I'm tired. I have been up since midnight last night, working on stuff.
Okay.
This is sort of the first free time I have had, so
Uh,
I'm gonna tune out.
Oh, that's fine, mate. I'll speak to you later. Yeah. So he's wanting it entirely a surprise, the first session. Are you wanting stories in a complete surprise? I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it will be the most surprises will maybe come from my character because yeah.
I don't even know what Pokemon he is.
I don't
Oh yeah, Trico.
Yeah.
I don't think Christine knows. I don't think Christine knows much about his character.
Yeah.
So that's
His Pokemon is such a mystery that he
Just as good a way.
I had problem to... what was the name of the first grass Pokemon you gave me? The second form was a ball.
Chespin.
Okay.
Oh, the chestnut.
Second
Yeah.
form looks kind of like an armadillo kind of
Yeah.
Chespin.
As
I
the
did-
second evolution, that was the custom law.
Yeah, I didn't like the second evolution. It was so... it looked like it couldn't do much against, like, if it was... if someone tried to push it down and such. Yeah,
Well, it was a tree turtle.
yeah. I didn't want a defenseless looking Pokemon. So I took Trico.
Yeah, I
You're-
was just about to say I'm going to head up. It's not internet keeps dropping. That's alright with everyone. And anything else you want to talk about?
I didn't hear that.
Anything else that we need to talk about?
Thank you for letting me
Any
play.
other questions you have? Pardon?
Mm.
Yeah.
Quite interesting idea to play a Pokemon. And yeah, so I will do 2 campaigns the first year ever. I do it. And with the same GM.
Yeah. He's kind of very surprised that I'm GMing 2 campaigns at the same time. Thinks I'm mental. I'm a bit weird.
No,
GMing 2
I've seen
campaigns at
them.
the same time.
I knew of a GM who also did 2 games, and I was part of both of them. And that's all I'm gonna say.
It's just when in this campaign you end up fighting Canary, and in that campaign they end up fighting Trigos. That's when I know I've lost it. Yeah, a Canary going up against a fighting Trigos, that'll be fun.
Alright, but since we're all
Anyway,
wrapping
if
up,
that's it, we'll sign off.